Whitcomb, destined to be Indiana's 43rd governor, made his escape and astonishing 11,000-mile home run by masquerading as a civilian. Despite being repatriated, he then managed to get back into the Pacific War, ending it at Clark Field on Luzon, where he had seen the Japanese attack on December 8, 1941. Prisoners who escaped en masse faced different challenges. The mass escapes detailed in Home Run were from Singapore to Australia and Corregidor to Australia, respectively. The courage and determination of Allied servicemen take center stage in the tale of 18 men in a 36-foot motorboat, led by the intrepid commander John Morrill, as they made a 31-day, 2,000-mile journey through enemy waters to freedom. Home Run does not forget those unable to escape. The penultimate chapter covers the liberation experience in the European and Pacific theaters. It focuses on 3 examples: Colditz Castle, Oflag 4C, Mossberg, Stalag 7A, and Cabanatuan. The liberation of Colditz was unique, as the prisoners had already obtained the surrender of the German forces guarding the castle prior to the arrival of any friendly forces. Mossberg was more typical of liberation in Germany, with U.S. tanks and infantry taking control of the camp and freeing the prisoners. Cabanatuan provides the thrilling story of the rescue of 511 emaciated prisoners by Lieutenant Colonel Henry Mucci and the 6th Ranger Battalion. That daring raid is still studied in military academies today. The book concludes with a chapter on the aftermath of the war. It provides some closure on the ultimate fate of many of the people, both prisoner and warder, in the book, and also recounts the uneven justice that was meted out by the victors. The POWs returned home to countries many of them hardly recognized, particularly those captured early in the war, where they were subject to varying treatment by governments that had many other priorities at hand. I would recommend this book to anyone seeking to know about escape and evasion in World War II, whether out of pure interest in history or to glean lessons and considerations in preparation for our next large-scale conventional conflict. Howard Simkin, a retired Green Beret and one of unconventional warfare's best thinkers, has done a masterful job. He has woven a brilliant tapestry from fading and desperate threads on an important but understudied topic. Lieutenant General Retired, Charles T. Cleveland, U.S. Army. Chapter 1. Introduction. Imagine that you are deep behind enemy lines during World War II. Your plane was shot down, or perhaps you have just escaped from a prisoner of war camp. The enemy is hunting you, seeking to throw you behind barbed wire for the duration of the war. What will you do? Do you have what it takes to make it to friendly territory? This book tells the story of the brave members of the British Commonwealth and United States Armed Forces during World War II who either evaded capture entirely or were taken prisoner and escaped. During the war, the Germans and Japanese held over 306,000 British Commonwealth and 105,000 U.S. service members as prisoners. But these numbers can only be approximations. The numbers held by the Germans are reasonably solid, as they generally adhere to the reporting requirements of the Geneva Conventions. The Japanese were another matter entirely. Many prisoners of the Japanese were killed before their capture was ever reported, such as those who perished during the Bataan Death March. When deciding which escapes and escape lines to address in detail, I had to be selective. What I sought was to bring stories forward that were either unique or neglected. In doing so, I passed over the considerable accomplishments of the Pat Line, which operated for 2 years before being penetrated by the Nazis.